welcome to tonight's live stream. Um, it's going to be pretty casual, and in fact, um, just going to be sharing with you all 8 tips to help fight fatigue and hopefully have a little bit of a conversation. Mostly tonight's live is for practice for me as a new YouTuber, but also um, just to kind of have an opportunity to commemorate the fact that I reached 100 subscribers, which is extremely exciting. And um, one of the things that I personally would like to do over the course of my YouTube journey is really just celebrate the small victories and um, revel in this opportunity that I don't have a large audience. And I know that many YouTubers are striving for having huge audiences, but really, I am grateful for this opportunity to practice and to not really have very many people watching because it takes the pressure off tremendously. So it's actually pretty exciting for me to be hosting this live while at the same time not having too much pressure involved. But I want to make it fun, even for myself. While at the same time, let me turn down the volume here. So, um, I'm just gonna adjust the camera, and I'm also gonna be watching from my tablet to see if I can kind of moderate the stream as well. So, 8 tips for boosting your energy, fighting fatigue, which is something that is extremely common, in particular in our culture here in the United States of America. Life gets so busy, honestly. And I would say that for me in my practice, that's one of the most common questions that women often have for me is how do I fight fatigue? How do I boost my energy, especially over time when we as women begin to notice that our energy levels are beginning to diminish. So we'll chat a little bit about that tonight, and I'll share with you some of the things that I have found to be beneficial personally in my life, but also some tips too from things that I've learned over the years. And let me just start by telling you a little bit about my background. Since I do have a brand new baby YouTube channel, a brand new itty bitty baby YouTube channel. Um, my name's Nicole, and I am a nurse practitioner with a background in family medicine. On this channel, I am on this channel in particular, my goal is to share health and wellness information and just to provide information, education, resources, and advocate for women who are, ages 40 plus, those of us Black women in particular. So, um, of course, I'm going to be making adjustments. Like I said, it's brand new for me, and super exciting. So, thank you for joining me. For those of you who will watch the replay, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you for your graciousness and for your support in the comments as I'm growing and just really using this opportunity to explore this channel, explore the opportunities that I have to post content. And of course, I'm learning along the way. So thank you for your patience as I am learning and working through this process. So um, I'll get into the first tip that I have, which for me is always most important. So, to boost your energy, number one is to get sufficient sleep and rest. Um, Sleep hygiene is one of the most important things when it comes to energy levels, and it's something that over time and with age, we realize that we really cannot compromise. It is so important to get sufficient sleep, and one thing that I've personally learned over the course of my health journey is that it really doesn't benefit me to try to compromise or give up my sleep in order to do other things, whether it be to go to the gym or to try to fit more things into my agenda and into my calendar. But at the expense of sleep, I tend to find that it really doesn't benefit me. And even in particular, when I go through my seasons of maybe trying to meet specific health and wellness goals, whether it be related to weight loss, muscle building, toning, um, increase in flexibility, whatever the health and wellness goal is, what I find is that if I am not getting sufficient sleep, then I tend to get to a place of plateau where I don't really even make progress. So I've found that it's not even worth it. So for me personally, if I have any health goal in mind, the first step that I take is to prioritize my sleep. And for me, one of the things that I typically do is I will just carve out the time by writing it on a calendar, setting myself up to have a specified bedtime and a specified wake up time consistently throughout the week, um, and on the weekends, because it's not easy for our bodies to transition from a weekday and a weekend schedule, regardless of what's going on. So, one of the things that I try to do is try to ensure that my schedule is consistent, that I have a consistent time that I'm going to sleep, a consistent time that I am waking up every day. And personally, I don't even really start trying to tax myself at the gym or make significant changes in my diet until I get to a point where I realize that I'm doing well with regard to my sleep. Um, and so on that same note, I would say that of course I get a lot of questions with regard to what can we do, what can be done if we're not sleeping well, and I always emphasize um, kind of making adjustments with regard to your sleep hygiene. We call it sleep hygiene. I'm sure you're familiar with all of those things. I don't know if I have to go through all of them, but limiting the amount of exposure to light prior to bedtime, limiting alcohol, those things tend to be disruptive to sleep in general and are not helpful. So, um, that's what I have for number one. And it looks like we have one person on. Thank you, one person, whoever you are. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, very exciting to be doing my first live here and talking a little bit about some of the 8 tips for boosting our energy and for fighting fatigue. Um, so if you're here and you'd like to say hello, please go ahead and say hello down in the chat. I would really appreciate it. Um, it's for fun. We're casual tonight. We're casual tonight, so we're having fun. So feel free to hop in the chat and say hi. Um, Number 2 that I have on my list for a tip for boosting energy, fighting fatigue, is movement and exercise. Um, and I always say movement. Exercise can be stressful at times. So just moving your body, whatever feels good, whatever feels comfortable, can be so beneficial with fighting fatigue. You don't necessarily have to pound it out in the gym, 5 days a week. And honestly, um, I believe that sometimes you can do more harm than good when you're putting that much stress on your body. But finding ways to get moving can be extremely beneficial for your energy levels. Even if it's just doing some light stretching for 10 to 15 minutes a day, or getting out for a walk, um, getting some fresh air, that we found in the research will definitely have the potential and likelihood to boost your energy. So definitely worthwhile to invest some time into getting some movement. Um, where I'm at personally, it's winter time. which makes it kind of difficult to get out and get moving. Um, so I live in the Midwest of the United States, and we're dealing with a lot of severe weather right now. Lots of snow, lots of storms, extreme cold, the whole nine. And we have four seasons here, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the four seasons. But at the same time, it can be challenging to get outside and get moving and get fresh air. Honestly, sometimes we want to just hibernate. In this region of the country, when the winter hits, we want to just hibernate. Um, but it's important to just find ways to stay active. So for me personally, during this time of the year, I do go ahead and invest in going to the gym. Um, and I go to the gym. And honestly, for much of my health journey over these past 20 years, I didn't start going to the gym until 2020 when everything got, well, 2021 when everything reopened um, after the virus, just because um, I found that it was beneficial to go ahead and do that for myself. There wasn't much money being spent in other places in terms of entertainment since so many things were closed. But for the most part, over the course of the last 15, 20 years, I'm definitely someone who's never necessarily um, advocated for having to spend money in order to be healthy or stay fit. I honestly um, never really did it over the years and didn't have any trouble with reaching and maintaining my health goals despite that. Number three I have on my list is boosting energy, mental and emotional peace. So there's nothing like mental and emotional peace, or let's say it in this way: there's nothing like um, mental and emotional upset that will drain your energy. Nothing will drain your energy like emotional upset. Um, so making it a priority to take time and just maintain your space of peace, carving out time where you can do whatever you need to do to practice peace, incorporating that into your life, removing yourself from situations that you find are disrupting your peace, if that's possible. It's not always possible, um, but for me, one thing that I've definitely been working on in the last couple years, in light of everything that has been going on, in particular here in the United States of America, and where I'm at, where everything flew off here in Minnesota with George Floyd. I mean, the stress levels, the tension levels were so high. So over the last couple years, I've definitely been trying to make a practice of meditation, prayer, um, a very consistent part of my life, because for me personally, I don't want to wait until a time of crisis to try and figure out how to incorporate peace and find peace. Um, so let's see. The fourth thing that I have on my list for fighting fatigue and is diet. And if you've come to my channel or watched any of my videos, you might get tired of me talking about diet, but nutrition, eating healthy, extremely important. I'm in my heart, I'm kind of a naturalist. I believe strongly that our bodies desire to be healed and whole, and that there are things that we can do related to our nutrition to help facilitate the healing of our body and helping to maintain our overall health. And the goal for me always is prevention. If we can maintain a balance of health and wellness within our diet and nutrition, then we don't have to um, be working so hard to reset. A lot of people are doing resets and, trying to detox. And I would say that the goal is to kind of keep your body and your nutrition in such balance in a way that hopefully you're not needing or requiring resets and detoxes on a regular basis. just maintaining kind of a healthy, nutritious regimen. I'm not one to, to necessarily support dieting, but I definitely believe in the importance of a healthy lifestyle choices. And that can vary from person to person. What I value as healthy and nutritious may be different than what you value as healthy and nutritious, and that's fine. Um, I do some health coaching, and honestly, I work with people on various ends of the spectrum. And personally, I feel like it's important just to be mindful that everybody has different values when it comes to food and what is important. So I wouldn't want to necessarily prescribe for you to cut out the things that are important to you, whether it be um, based on your culture, your family background, the things that bring you comfort and healing. There's definitely ways we can work those things into a healthy diet, depending on what your goals are. Depending on what your goals are. Um, the next tip that I have, which is number 4. I think we're on number 4. Um, avoiding sugar. Avoiding sugar is important for helping to fight fatigue. Um, Honestly, I think avoiding sugar, in particular, if you're trying to cut out sugar completely, is one of the most difficult things I think to do, especially here in America, because sugar is so frequently used as an additive to so many of our foods um, that unless you're prepared to prepare most of your meals for yourself at home, then it's going to be extremely challenging to avoid sugar. But it's not impossible. And also, in addition to that, reading labels is extremely beneficial when it comes to avoiding sugar. So many things that we use on a daily basis, um, they're just loaded with unnecessary, excessive amounts of sugar. Sugar is so addictive. I could personally talk about sugar all day and all the addictive properties associated with it. But sugar generally tends to cause your energy levels to go up and down throughout the day. You're gonna get a boost when you get the sugar in, and then you're gonna continue to drop throughout the day. Um, and then because of the addictive property of sugar, you're going to need that sugar boost again just for you to kind of feel energetic temporarily. And then your energy levels are going to drop again. So, um, yeah, avoiding sugar. What you tend to find is when you're not on sugar, uh, your energy levels tend to stay probably a lot more balanced throughout the day. You're not doing this constant up and down. You'll probably notice that your mood is better, that you're less irritable. You'll probably find that you're not having as many cravings for unhealthy foods when you're not using sugar, and that you're able to focus more, that you probably get better sleep. It's just so many benefits across the board. So many benefits across the board. Um, and the nice thing is that you can start seeing those benefits pretty quickly after decreasing sugar intake. The next thing that I have on my list for helping to boost energy, fight fatigue, is avoiding alcohol. Uh, Alcohol, well, you probably know, it's mostly carbohydrate. It has a lot of sugar. So, similar to sugar, uh, especially um, the pastas, the rice, the um, sometimes I don't like to say these, but it's true. But the good stuff that we love to eat, the fufu, the pounded yam, all of the good stuff. Anyways, a lot of those are going to be carbohydrates, and generally speaking, they're going to adversely impact your sugar levels. They're going to adversely impact your energy levels and make you more fatigued in the long run. But alcohol similarly is a carbohydrate and will um, adversely impact your um, adversely impact your energy levels. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for saying hi. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna have trouble saying your name. So can you maybe give me the phonetic version of your name? Is it L Ellie? Okay. L. Okay. Hi, L. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for saying hi in the chat. Um, that's nice. Of course, I'm a brand new baby YouTuber here. This is my very first live. Here to commemorate the fact that I have 100 subscribers, and really just enjoying the fact that I'm doing a live. And to be honest, it's actually kind of fun to do a live, knowing that I don't have a large audience because it allows me to not feel pressured and to kind of like relax and really just enjoy practicing and being on camera. So thank you so much for joining the live. I really appreciate the fact that you join me. So thank you. So I was talking a little bit about ways we can fight fatigue and boost our energy. And so the next thing that I had was, I think this is number five. Could be five. Who's counting? Who's counting? But the next one that I have was definitely incorporating um, more whole based nutrition. So you want to make sure that you're getting lots of fruits, lots of vegetables into your diet on a regular, consistent basis. I mean, that's one thing that I know for sure we can't argue about. Everybody has opinions on what's good for you, what's not good for you in terms of diet. But one thing that we know for sure is that plants and vegetables are good for you and they can do you no harm. You cannot go wrong nearly on any type of diet or nutritious nutrition plan by eating a good amount of whole based, nutritious fruits and vegetables. Um, Filled with antioxidants that boost your energy, filled with all natural types of just health benefits for you. So, next that I have on my list is getting some sunshine. Getting some sunshine is a way to naturally boost your energy, um, which is wonderful. I mean, I love being able to be out in the sun. The challenge is that with this time of the year in the region of the country where I live, there's not very much sun. However, when there is a bit of sun, I definitely try to get out into the sun. And have found in healthcare that you can actually get the benefits just from actually looking out into nature. So if you can sit by a sunny window, even if you can't get outside, you may find that it helps to boost your energy, just kind of being next to nature if you can't be fully in nature. But for me, I do supplement in the wintertime my vitamin D, um, just because I just know that I don't get enough sunshine where I'm at. There's not very much sun most of the winter here. So um, getting out, getting fresh air as much as possible. One of the things that I decided this year was to try and ensure that I purchased enough warm outerwear that I would feel more comfortable getting out, even when it wasn't warm, because it's not going to be warm. Not for a long time, not where I'm at. It is not going to be warm. But there's definitely some health benefit that boosts your energy just getting out, getting fresh air, getting into nature on a consistent basis. And I've been doing a lot better this year than I have in previous years. So let's see what we have next. Next I have um, listen to your body. Um, I think it's so important that we, especially as Black women, kind of have to retrain ourselves to listen to our bodies. Um, Unfortunately, in our culture, in in our history, I think that we really haven't been trained to listen to our bodies. We've been trained to ignore the signals that our bodies are giving us, especially at times when our bodies are telling us that we should rest or we need a break or we need to step back from certain activities. Um, Sometimes we're just trained to keep going and keep going and keep going, and we ignore those signals that our bodies give us that tell us to relax, to rest, to take a break, um, to pause, and and to be honest, it becomes difficult when you don't practice resting. So, one of the practices that I have been putting into my life over the last few years on a very consistent basis is to check in with myself, to check in with my body, to check in and see how I feel. You can call it intuition, whatever it is that you want to call it, but I definitely believe that our bodies are communicating with us. They're trying to tell us what we need, which is why, I mean, if you have a goal in mind, a fitness goal in mind, certainly there are times when you can kind of do a really taxing fitness regimen and routine. But personally, in my opinion, um, I believe that it's so important to be in tune with your body and to not over stress your body. And honestly, sometimes exercise can be distressing to your body. So it's so important to listen to your body. And when your body is in need of rest, that you are willing to honor that and take some rest for your body. Your body, rather than doing 45 minutes of HIIT at the gym, your body may just need some relaxing yoga and stretching. And I think it's important for us to give ourselves permission to have that kind of flexibility in our routine and in our regimen, in our health and fitness journey, on our health and fitness journey, to go ahead and listen to our bodies. And actually, for me, especially with age over time, over the last 4 to 5 years, probably, um, I've been working at listening to my body more and putting that more into practice. And what I found is that I actually get more benefit. And for me, what I've noticed is that it helps me to trust myself, right? So when I am able to kind of put into practice listening to my body and I'm actually seeing that I'm getting benefit from listening to my body rather than overworking myself at the gym or overworking myself at work. And when I give myself permission to listen to my body, I find that I actually make more progress towards my goal. So it's a beautiful thing to explore and to experiment with what works best for you and to listen to your body. For me personally, when I'm seeing patients in clinic, I do still see patients in clinic. Um, One of the things that I often ask my patients is, what do you think the problem is? Right? Um, I feel that for me personally, as a clinician, that my job is to work with you. We're on the same team. I have a different role than you do, but our goal is to work together. And so for me, it's so valuable to get information from you for what you think the problem is. And one thing that I've noticed in working with, I work with a pretty, I've worked with a pretty diverse population, um, in particular with people from South America and other countries, and diversity even amongst Americans. One thing that I've noticed in particular is that we as Americans have a hard time kind of identifying with what we think might be causing a problem. And I just think that it's just because we've been taught to rely on other people to tell us what the problems are. Um, and so, in working with sometimes the diverse populations, I've noticed that sometimes they're a little bit more in tune with their body. And I'm practicing personally, trying to become more in tune with my body and recognizing and honoring what my body is telling me and the different things that are happening in my life and the ways in which they're impacting my health overall. So listening to your body. Um, Another thing to help boost your energy. And this one I'm excited about, and I'm glad that we're here today because what I have is to spend time with others. Spending time with people who support you, who uplift you, who you connect with, who encourage you, who make you feel like you can be your authentic self is something that helps to boost your energy. And in fact, in my own opinion, there's nothing like it. It's nothing like being surrounded by a group of people who support you, encourage you, and who connect with you. And that's why I'm grateful to have this YouTube channel. And one of my goals is to grow that community where we as women, as Black women in particular, can connect with one another, can surround each other, and to be supports for one another so that we can, so that we can kind of be uh, an encouragement and a boost for each other. So that's one of my goals with our community here on YouTube. And let's see. Was that 8? Has anybody been keeping track? Let me check the comments. Okay, let's see. Elle says, I need to move more. I hear you. I definitely hear you. Um, I think just doing a little bit at a time, making the goal small and attainable. So, just beginning like with something as easy as 5 minutes can make a huge difference. Um, let's see. Oh, and Elle, you said you need to get outside more too. I wonder where are you here in the U.S. and if so, are you what part of the country are you in where you need to get out more? Is the weather um, is the weather okay enough for you to be able to get out? I know that for me personally, I'm struggling with the weather. And then Elle says we need to definitely listen and understand our bodies. Oh, okay. So you're in Charlotte. Okay. Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, okay. Yes, actually, so funny because I was trying to escape Minnesota to get to Charlotte. Last week, I looked at your weather in Charlotte and it was looking a lot better than ours. But we had huge storms last week and all of the flights were canceled. Um, I was trying to get away to a house sit and um, unfortunately, things did not work out. I swear, our whole airport. Oh, it's 68 and raining there in Charlotte. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. 68 sounds so wonderful. Here it's like literally 20 to 25 degrees, extremely cold. The ground is covered in ice. Oh, 68 degrees sounds like heaven right now, Elle, to be honest. Sounds like heaven. But it's raining. Oh, and honestly, raining. I love to go running in the rain. I guess I shouldn't say running. Maybe I should say jogging. Um, every year I do what's called a couch to 5K because every year I consider myself a beginning runner. So I love to start running when the weather's starting to change, when it's getting slightly warmer, like or cooler, so fall or spring. And I do this couch to 5K thing where it kind of has you build up to running gradually over the course of like maybe 6 or 8 weeks or something like that. But I do it every year. I'm a beginner over and over and over again. Uh, so, yeah, so those are the tips that I have for helping to boost our energy and fight fatigue. I hope that that was helpful. Thank you for those of you who joined me today. Thank you so much, Elle, for jumping in the chat, keeping me company tonight as a brand newbie out here. I really appreciate it. So, um, today's practice was actually because I'm having a guest on tomorrow, and her name is Nicole. Nicole Inspo with Nicole, and she's going to be sharing with us some information on her journey with fibroids. She's chosen to take a more natural route. She started some juicing and incorporating some herbal remedies into her regimen. And so I really felt it would be beneficial for her to share with us some of her journey, some of the things that she's experienced with seeking out healthcare, the support that she's had, and kind of what's been going on with her. So please come join us tomorrow. Chat with us tomorrow. We'll be going live to talk about her journey. And just thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Have a good night.